If you've got senior leadership buy-in, you will undoubtedly have, as more junior members of your workforce, because of their age, because of their life experiences, who will understand more naturally and implicitly the advantages with diversity. That's just, I think, a factor of how our society in Australia is changing. The group that you need to convince are middle management. And many talented men and women in middle management will understand it and be on your side if you want to change issues around diversity and inclusivity. But there will be some who are the beneficiaries of the status quo who will be hard to change. You need to keep on message. You need to keep repeating those things that you want to see in your organisation. And to be frank, if at the end of that they are still standing in your way, then I think it's probably time you have a conversation with them to ask them why they hold these views, and if they're not prepared to change, what they would like to do with the rest of their lives.
If we've got this blokey thing and we expect all that come to the door to act and behave in a blokey environment, that's not the right environment. That's not where we want to be at all. And I think we need to take stock of those things. If they are still alive in 2014, that's not the place we want to be at all. We've got to make sure that it represents what we see as community standards of respect and understanding of people, and we've got to apply them into our environment. If we see and know that there are clubs operating, and I say clubs in the sense that behaviour of clubs, that's not a good place to be. We need to be better than that in this day and age, and we certainly need to be better into the future of dealing with that.
So this issue is a leadership issue. If it's not being led by the most senior person in the organisation, then it won't have traction. And one of the ways that I ensure that it is those CEOs that attend the meeting is that you're not able to send a delegate. I've said no delegates allowed. If you don't come, your voice is not represented. And I have to say, from having 25 of the most busiest men in the country, from the head of a treasury to the head of Qantas and Woolworths to the head of a military, those men make time because this is a priority. And if they don't come, they recognise that their views won't be represented at all. So it has to start at the top.
We've got to understand our structures, and sometimes the structures are quite structured. That is, they are very structured and they are restrictive. So I think it's about a modernisation of how we see that. I think brigades in CFA, in MFB, SES units, the traditional emergency services, are still quite structured, and we need to do more of that over the next number of years to say, let's free it open a bit and understand each other better. That's not challenging the fact that we've got command and control. Let's respect that and understand it's got a place, but we've also got to open up the management structures to be more able to deal with the issues that I think we've all faced before and will certainly face in the future.
The work that I've done with the military was very much about taking the stories of people, talented individuals who who loved their organisation, but they had paid an unacceptable price for participation. Now, those stories weren't to be told by me, they were to be told by the individuals themselves. So that really raises the second issue: how do you create the safe space to tell stories? And I think that's critical that organisations do that, and that's about leaders stepping in and making it safe for others to tell their story.
Diversity in gender means we've got a better representation of the community. There's no doubt that we'll see a different discussion, we'll see a different profile, a different capability. It's really important for the future in the way in which we see everything. It's got generational change, it brings the opportunity for Generation X and Y to participate. They are different, but they want to be involved, they're community focused, they want to be involved, they want to be respected, and they want to contribute. So it's diversity, it's gender, it's generational change. It's got to take all those issues in, but certainly the fact that we've got a male-dominated presence means that we've got to be focused on gender as well, which is one of those key things about opening the doors to make sure we have a greater profile. And I think it represents the community. You know, it really does start to represent what the community profile is about what our agencies look like and how they operate.
In a lot of the emergency services organisations tend to be male-dominated, and I think that's an issue. And I think some thinking around recruiting more women and making it a much friendlier workplace for women to come to, because male-dominated workforces can stifle innovation and growth in an organisation. I think it's great to improve the mix of personnel that are working. And certainly, if I look at my own workplace, I've been recruiting a number of women to come and work within what's been historically and traditionally a male-dominated workforce at Crime Command. And it does change the culture and the environment. So I think that's great. And women bring ideas on how to support each other as well, and they challenge men.
Lots of things have changed, and in that sense, we've got to take the changes with us. The opportunity for what it brings to us in capability and capacity to have a diverse workforce, a diverse sector, is really important.